She said it's already time to start talking about impeachment for President Trump. Watch.
This Russia connection is a serious issue. I've been talking about it for a long time, and each day we learn more and more about it. The Guardian article brings us even closer to the facts that something took place. Meetings have taken place. Conversations have taken place. I've always said that I believe there was collusion, and if we determine the facts, if the dots are connected, that there has been collusion, then I really do think that this president could be impeached.
Well, we have asked Congresswoman Waters many times to come on this show, begged her staff, and every time she has declined. We're still hoping. Instead, tonight, we turn to Zach Petkanis. He is a former DNC senior advisor, and he joins us tonight in studio. Zach, great to see you.
Great to see you too, Tucker.
So my question is, for those of you who are really on the wavelength, okay, who really understand the complexities of this Russia conspiracy, why impeachment? Why not life imprisonment, the death penalty? I mean, that seems kind of weak sauce.
Well, let's be clear. I mean, there are not a lot of us who are talking about impeachment. The I word that we are talking about is investigation. And that's what we need to do. We need an independent investigation that can get to the bottom of this, because the facts that we know right now are very damning and very scary. And we need to get to the bottom of it.
But why wouldn't... So, wait, you're not telling me you're not going to defend the esteemed Maxine Waters of Los Angeles. She's calling for impeachment. And by the way, how long before she calls for a life in prison term?
First off, Congresswoman Waters is well equipped to defend herself. What I think we need to be talking about...
Really? Because I always see other Democrats defending her, amazingly enough. They jumped her defense at every turn, but why not now?
I'm a big fan of hers, but the I word we should be talking about is investigation, an independent commission that can get to the bottom of this potential collusion.
There's an FBI investigation already going on. But I guess, so unless you think the FBI... Do you think the FBI has been penetrated by Russian intelligence?
No. What I think is that we should treat this scandal like we would other scandals, and that there are multiple layers of investigation. That means we need robust Intelligence Committee investigations, which we're not seeing. We need a real FBI investigation, which we have. We need an independent commission to get to the bottom of this.
Why would we need? I'm confused by that. So if the FBI has not, as you allege, been penetrated by Vladimir Putin's Secret Service, okay, if they're not a tool of the Kremlin too, okay, and that's an open question, I think, to you. But if they haven't been...
I'm sorry, where is it an open question for me?
Well, look, if the FBI is completely on the level, then we don't need a series of investigations.
But why does this scandal deserve less scrutiny than other scandals, like the Iran-Contra scandal and others? Why does this one not deserve an independent commission, and that does?
No evidence that anything happened? Because it's kind of insane. That would be one reason.
Well, they had 181 Senate staffers in the Intelligence Committee working on that investigation. There are 7 that are here.
So you've already looked that up. So I guess here's when I saw her say that, you were the first person that came to mind, and I thought,
that really means
Zach is on this frequency. You're like getting the radio waves, okay, in your molars on this. But I was wondering, has she gone too far even for you? So my theory is that Maxine Waters really is the voice of the Democratic grassroots, the radicals. And I wonder if they're so far out on this Russia thing that they're going to make you look moderate by comparison, if they're going to force Democratic leadership to treat this like a war crime.
Well, I mean, we need to talk about where we are right now. There is an active investigation going on right now. The FBI is looking about whether there was collusion. The facts that we have right now in terms of the communications between top aides of Donald Trump and Russian spies, and we know that happened. I mean, Carter Page, he talked to Igor Devyakin in Moscow, who runs the division that deals with U.S. elections.
I'm sure he did.
We deal with Paul Manafort.
So you're saying Carter Page was a, quote, top aide to President Trump?
I mean, when Donald
that's like insane.
When Donald Trump was asked who his foreign policy advisors are, he was the first one.
He was on some list. He actually said he never met the guy or talked to him in his life. But here's quickly. I've asked this to every guest we've had on this subject.
Sure.
Most other channels are ignoring the Russia thing because it's turned out to be such an embarrassing rat hole. But
totally
I can't. I'm never going to let it go because I so enjoy it.
100% not true.
Now that we're, according to the Russian government itself, moving toward war with Russia based on decisions the Trump administration made, do you still think it's plausible impossible to claim he's a Russian puppet.
I think it's actually pretty absurd to say that we're on the path to war with Russia.
That's what the Russians claim. That's what the prime minister. That's what the foreign minister of Russia just said.
Number one, there were a couple like if you're talking about the Tomahawk missile strikes, there were a couple de-escalating moves directly after that. For example, Putin said that he was going to retaliate by cutting off communication between Russian planes and American planes. He ended up not doing that.
So it's a ruse. You know, I knew there had to be, because I did take a couple psychology courses. This is a head fake then.
You've said this. I think that we should take Eric Trump's tweets at his word after the Syrian strikes, when he said, now this proves that there's no collusion between Russia and Syria. And so I think that this was done at a time when there was a lot of scrutiny that was placed on in terms of Russia.
So do you think, last
question,
the
rhetoric got
So Eric Trump is also a Russian agent. Is Ivanka too?
Well, I didn't say he is a Russian agent. If he is, he's a pretty bad one. But
okay.
I
want you to come back and just fill us in new installments as the conspiracy deepens.
Anytime you want, baby. I'm here.
Thank you, Zach.